Just your thoughts on this year's draft class. Strong, how you felt about it overall.
I thought it was deep. I thought, and I think that we benefited from that with the 2 picks in the second round, the 2 picks in the third. Not having a first is always difficult. But I think it was, top end in terms of some D, good depth, strong group. I like the group.
Well, I'm not going to make you go through every single pick, but that first pick that you guys did have in the second round, you picked a Saski kid. What can you tell us about that one?
Hayden Wagner played at NAX championship team in the CSSHL championships. Real good team, real good program. Puck moving defenseman, good mobility, has some offensive upside, has a real good compete level, plays hard. You mentioned Britt, a Sask kid. He's going to play for the Saskatoon Blazers. Excited to add Hayden to our program.
I remember last year you guys had a lot of Manitoba and Sask kids. This year it seemed like you went a little more Sask and then West. Is there any difference just in the scouting department, or that's just the way the cookie crumbles?
No, there's no difference in the scouting department, and the reality is that we don't draft by region. We draft by how we build our list. And so you build your list with the best player mentality. You build your list with that the next guy up on your list should be the person that you draft, and it's just how it falls. Sometimes it falls, stronger in different areas. This year there's a lot of good players in Manitoba. They just didn't fall to our spot on the list, and other teams took them.
Any shocks or moments of going, oh my gosh, we're going to get this guy? I thought for sure he would have went sooner.
Well, you have 22 teams talking about the draft today, and you're going to hear multiple times we couldn't believe he was still on the board. And we all kind of joke about it and laugh about that because, that's the most overheard cliche in any draft history. But the way our first 4 picks fell and where we had those young men on our draft list, from Wagner to Failer to Mathis Paul to Cohen Hanby, we had them all rated fairly high, and we're excited, very excited about that group. We've got good speed, we've got good skill, we have good compete. In Hanby and Mathis Paul, you're looking at projecting 6'2", 6'3" winger in Paul, 6'5" center in Hanby. Hanby's such an intriguing guy at that size, good mobility, has good touch, and he's a December 17th birth date. He's almost a 2010. So, what's this guy going to look like in 3 or 4 years? So, some things fell our way based on the list we built, and, we feel good about our draft, but at the end of the day, time will tell, and we'll see what things look like in 2 or 3 years.
I know this was a yesterday thing, and you touched about it with Dante yesterday, but can you just take us through the Cliff Notes version of the U.S. priority draft and how that went for you guys?
Yeah, you know what, I think, it starts with the number 1 pick. It gives you an opportunity to really dive into who you want. The U.S. draft is similar to the import draft, where you have to do a lot of homework. There's the evaluations on the ice, and then there's the gathering information of who's interested in playing the league and who isn't. And we were fortunate to go through a process with Braden Hordachuk and his family. Was a player that we really liked in the top end of the draft, and 100% committed to playing in the WHL. So it ended up being a no-brainer for us to take him there. We're excited to add him to our program and think he's going to be an exciting player for our team. And then in the second round, some skill and speed with a real good player from Shattuck's. He's also an interesting kid. He's not your typical Minnesota kid that plays at Shattuck's. He's from Alaska, where, so there's a little bit of a different interest level in our league. Camden has some familiarity with Braxton Whitehead, our 20-year-old player that's from Alaska as well. So there's some interest in him playing in the league as well. So we're pleased with how that fell our way as well.